How many items should you have in your Etsy store to succeed on Etsy? So this is one of the most frequently asked questions on YouTube or indeed anywhere about Etsy. What's the magic number of items to succeed? And 100 gets given as a magic number. We're going to talk about 100 in a minute. It's important. But before we do that, let's get rid of some BS. So I see in the Etsy forums and YouTube forum posts, people saying, oh, you can have 20 items, 10 items, 30 items and make thousands of sales. Look at this shop that's got 20 items and it's done 5,000 sales, 10,000 sales. Okay, first of all, any store that has 10, 20, 30, 40 items in it and has done thousands and thousands of sales is only doing those thousands of sales for two reasons. Number one, they have no or low competition, so they can sell at will to the customers looking for their stuff. Number two, and this is the one that happens more often, is they are pumping a ton of external advertising into the store to make those sales. So when I talk about this to people who want to know more about Etsy, 100 is the absolute minimum I tell all my clients and everyone I work with to get to in their store. 100 items is the absolute minimum. As a broad guide, now I've been setting up stores and building stores, growing stores for 8 years. I've built hundreds. The number of inventory that you will probably end up with if you keep pushing your store, keep growing your store, is somewhere between 200 and 400 items. That's the number that usually you'll end up with as a successful store. So now that I've told you all that, do you want to look at some real world stores? Let's look at some small stores and how many sales they've made. Let's look at some higher inventory stores and how many sales they've made. The information is crystal clear. Let's go. So 28 items, 55 sales. 61 items, 35 sales. 2 items, 8 sales. Now let's look at some higher inventory shops and see what sales they're bringing in. 178 items, 24,000 sales. 435 items, 97,000 sales. 441 items, 46,000 sales. So for most sellers, having 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 items in your store is not going to cut it. It is not going to cut it, and you're not going to make big sales with that amount of inventory in your store. So remember earlier I was talking about the number 100. Everyone says there's no magic number. There's no magic number. There is a magic number and it's 100. But it's not magic because once you get to 100 items, all of a sudden your store starts selling loads of stuff. It's magic because it's inspirational and aspirational for you to make as a goal to get to in your Etsy store. That's the magic. The magic happens because once you commit to getting to 100 items and you move the store to 100 items, if people want to buy your stuff, you will start selling. I guarantee it. You will start selling. But the magic is in the achievement of getting to 100 items, seeing what you've done, seeing the sales you've made. And that is my reason for calling 100 the magic number to get to. So if you're a new Etsy store owner or a store owner that's just started, you need to plan. So you need to have a listing plan. So prepare your listings. How are you going to get to 100 listings? You don't just put them in willy-nilly. You want to try and put your listings into your Etsy store at a rate of about 1 a day. So put the listings into your store at 1 a day. That means you're going to have listings to go into your store for 90 to 100 days. That takes planning. It might take you 2 weeks, up to a month to get those listings ready. Get them ready first, then load them into your store slowly and steadily, 1 a day. Now you know you've got 90 to 100 days worth of listings to list. As you're listing those listings, then you can plan the next round of listings. So you don't want to stop at 100 listings. 100 listings is a good marker to get to. By the time you get to 100 listings, you should be making sales. There's no doubt about it. That's the whole point of this exercise. It's to give you inspiration and drive to see the results. Sitting there with 20, 30 listings, you're going to go nowhere. You're going to get disheartened. Head to 100 listings. That will prove if people want to buy your stuff. And if they do want to buy your stuff, you'll start making sales. So you get the picture here. I'm not saying that your store is going to make 50,000 sales, 100,000 sales like some of these guys. But the point is, bigger Etsy stores definitely make more sales. I've built hundreds of Etsy stores, and I promise you, if people want to buy your stuff, and that's really, really important, make sure you're selling stuff people want to buy. Not what you want to make, but what people want to buy, and try and get those two to match. So you sell stuff that you enjoy making and people want to buy. Provided you fill that requirement, get to 100 items, you will start selling. I guarantee it. And if you're not selling, come into the comments, say, Nick, I've done my 100 items. I've done what you said over 3 to 4 months and I'm still not selling. I'll tell you exactly why you're not selling. So I want to know how many items you've got in your store and problems that you're facing in your store. Get into the comments, give me that information and I'll give you some answers. Thanks.